to Torrent Power Limited Q2FY24 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during this conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Saurabh Mashruwala, Chief Financial Officer, Torrent Power Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Neerav. Good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining the earnings calls of Torrent Power for Q2 FY24. First, I will take you through the performance of the quarter, after which phone lines will be open for Q&A session. Let's explain the performance of the company at PBT level first, and then take you through the tax expenses separately. Reported PBT for the quarter stood at 741 crores as compared to 725 crores in the corresponding quarter of last year, an increase of about 16 crores, roughly 2% on reported basis. There were no non-recurring items in both the quarters, current as well as corresponding quarter of last year. Underlying business across coal generation, renewable generation, license and franchise distribution showed improved performance in terms of profit, which was partially offset by the lower gain from LNG as well as merchant sales in current quarter as compared to the corresponding quarter of last year. Business factors contributing to the growth there are three factors which has impacted the profit. First is contribution from the distribution business improved by 66 crores due to two reasons. First, improvement in T&D losses, increase in ROE on capitalization of capex, and incentive contributed over 71 crores, which was partially offset by the higher bad debt provision, mainly in distribution franchise business, due to lower collection efficiency witnessed in the quarter, 11 crores. Second, profitability of renewable business increased by 75 crores on account of first improved PLF from the wind power project, and second contribution from the newly commissioned 115 MW 65 projects wind power project, which is commissioned in the month of July 23. Third, the aforementioned two gains from the distribution as well as renewable generation segment were offset by the reduced profit from the thermal generation by 130 crores on account of lower net gain in the current quarter from sale of LNG and merchant power compared to corresponding quarter of last year. Before moving into the after-tax numbers, would like to highlight that despite the lower LNG as well as merchant gains, as detailed in my earlier commentary, company has been able to grow its bottom line on an absolute basis. Company's consolidated profit after tax reported for the quarter is 531 crores as compared to 485 crores reported in the corresponding quarter last year. It is higher by about 46%, growth of about 9%. Now, moving on to the operating performance of the company, there are 6 factors. First, power demand witnessed a remarkable growth during the quarter, leading to a better generation of the company. Second, demand from the distribution business of the company witnessed a healthy growth of 6.5% in the current quarter. Third, thermal generation of the company witnessed an increased PLF due to increased demand from both long-term off-takers as well as merchant power. Fourth, for the first time, all generating units of 1,200 MW DGEN power project, gas-based power project, were in service at base load for the certain period of times. Fifth, we expect the country power demand to show incremental growth and merchant power market in certain peak demand, particularly in the month of summer as well as peak winter, will offer the opportunity to sell power from the gas-based power project in future, considering the LNG price remains at sustainable level. The last, PLF of renewable generation was higher on account of the better generation from wind power projects due to normalized wind speed compared to previous quarters. This completes the overview of the quarterly financial as well as operating performance of the company. Moving on we now give the brief update about the current projects which are under the pipeline. TPLD 300 MW solar project is likely to commission by end of FY24 It is expected to have improved return profile considering the recent reduction in solar module prices in the international market. Second, PPA for 300 megawatt Q2 wind project was executed in the end of March 23. A turnkey EPC contract for the development of the project has been awarded to Suzlon. The SCOD of the project is March 25. SCD of the project is likely to be extended considering the procedural delay adoption of tariff by the CRC. During the quarter, the company acquired 100% stake in Air Power Wind Farm at a cost of 22 crores. The company is in business of leasing of land for renewable project and is in possession of the land which is suitable for development of 175 megawatt renewable project with a high cost. Under C&I portfolio, company has 295 megawatt of projects under development, out of which 11 megawatt is commissioned into Q2FY24, and remaining projects are going to be commissioned going forward. Company's pilot project in green hydrogen blending with the CNG in UP is one of the largest private sector blending projects in India. Is progressing as per the timeline and is expected to commission by March 24. In distribution segment, company commission is power import substation in Dholera SIR, wherein we are the licensee. With respect to pump storage hydro project in Maharashtra, MOEF has granted the terms of reference for 2 sites, and the DPR is under preparation right now. That's all for this quarter. Now I would request coordinator to open the line for the Q&A session. We wish everybody to stay safe and healthy. Thank you. Handing over to the operators.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The first question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
3 questions from my side. So one is on the renewable pipeline. You know, we see a lot of bidding happening, but we don't see us participating in these bids. Is a conscious decision not to participate in any of the renewable bidding which are happening currently, or will you reassess this position after some time?
No, we are participating, but we are very conscious about the bottom line also. So on us, we thought that only solar and wind standalone project will not offer the better return. So we look at the hybrid kind of a project will offer the better return. So return expectation is more important for us than the simply bidding the projects.
Do you expect to say new FDRE bids will have a lesser competition? Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, hybrid project has a lesser competition. That is what our understanding is, yes. And it offers the better returns also.
Mm-hmm. So my second question is on given that there is a lack of power capacity and the gas power plants are, in a sense, should be in demand. Can we expect the DGEN to start operating at some point of time at a higher PLF? And did the government conducted a bid in this particular for the month of October?
Yeah, government has offered the new tenders, but finally because of lower demand, it was not offered to us. But we expect that the DGEN project, in fact, if you look at the summer as well as pre-winter year, DGEN, we were able to offer the DGEN project. We are able to sell power in the merchant market. Going forward, because of the energy situation in the country, we expect demand for merchant power will come during the summer time as well as pre-winter period, and we expect DGEN project will possibly run during those periods.
Understood. My last question is on the second. Is it possible to give us the EBITDA breakup for the quarter or for the half year?
So it is given in the result which we have announced. In fact, we are started giving the segment-wise reporting, including the EBITDA also.
So EBITDA number is there in the presentation, is it? Okay, I'll have a look.
It is there in the financial result which we have announced, segment-wise performance we have given.
Yes.
Distribution, generations, renewables. So you can get from that quarterly numbers as well as half-yearly numbers as well as yearly numbers also.
Any questions to share the merchant volume in this particular quarter, sir?
Sorry?
Merchant volumes in this quarter?
Merchant volumes?
Yes.
Yeah. So about 272 MUs we are able to sell in the merchant market.
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Q2FY24 from Investec Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the opportunity. So you could mention the LNG profitability for this quarter compared to the previous one.
Sorry, Anuj, come again.
Sir, LNG profitability for this quarter compared to the previous year quarter.
So Anuj, I think this quarter there was not much of LNG sales. It was more of merchant sale, which has contributed to the profitability. So if you compare the last quarter as well as current quarter, both merchant and LNG put together, we earn about 130 crores less contribution from the LNG as well as merchant.
Okay, so combined contribution you are saying 130 crores less.
Lower as compared with the comparable quarter of last year.
Got it, sir. And you mentioned about there could be some delay in the commissioning of 300 megawatts SECI 12 project. Any indications of how much delay will it be, a quarter or two or something, and the reason for the same?
The SECI was unable to finalize the PPA with the onward PPAs, I would say, with the couple of discoms. That is why there will be some delay in the signing the PPA with us also. So maybe quarter or so they will come back to us what kind of extension they are going to give.
Okay, sir. And any timeline which you can throw for the 175 megawatts of project which we are targeting for the merchant market and other 191 CNA projects?
Maybe about 15 to 18 months is the duration one can expect.
Okay. And so, are we still sticking to our long-term goal? Long-term in the sense 3 to 4 years kind of a goal to have 5 gigawatt of renewable capacity under our kitty, because as you mentioned in the earlier question that we are strategically looking into bidding this project. So we don't want to lose on to the earnings or the return portfolio by adding more projects to the kitty. So are we still sticking to this 5 gigawatt by 26?
Yeah, 3-4 years, yes, our target is to reach for 5 gigawatt. Both we are looking greenfield project as well as acquisitions also, both the things we are evaluating at this moment.
So Anuj, when earlier also when we said, we were always saying that it was always subject to we getting the desired returns which we are looking at. So again, that caveat remains that 5 gigawatt is the aspiration which we want to, but not at the cost of the profitability of the return profile.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm done with it. If I have anything, I'll come back again. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Next question is from the line of Dhruv Muchal from HDFC Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So the first question was the demand, electricity demand growth has been very reasonable across your circles. So if you can share some sense, and we see that across India also, if you can share some sense on what is driving this Probably we understand some bit could be residential, but some incremental thoughts from you. So particularly if I take D&D, which is probably largely commercial and industrial area for you, there also demand growth is about 8% this quarter. So just some sense, some granular details on what in your view is driving this demand.
The combination of, if you look at the GDP numbers also, and industrial demand, which is very strong right now, which is what it is driving the demand across all our distribution areas.
So Dhruv, if you look at, let's say, DDDNH, which is, as you rightly say, it is more of an industrial area, which has showed a growth of 8%. If you look at Agra also, which is more of residential, or in Ahmedabad, which is more of residential, they have also shown a good growth in terms of volumes is concerned. So as far as the demand for the entire electricity is concerned, I think it is coming from all the angles, be it industrial or be it residential or commercial.
So country as a whole, H1 demand, consumption of electricity was about 9.3%. That is what government has announced the numbers. So which is reflected in our performance also, in our area of operations.
So, say for your area, say particularly areas which are relatively high industrial, if you split that between industrial and say residential, would the growth be similar in between residential and residential, or is there something which is growing more faster and something slower?
No, so I think it would not be right to generalize that. So if I tell you that Bhiwandi is an industrial area, but it has not shown growth because of its in particular issues with respect to the industry which it has. So as far as generalization is concerned, it would be very difficult to generalize that. But yes, if I look at my areas, then all the areas have shown typical growth. Some may be couple of percentage higher, some couple of percentage lower. But as far as residential or industrial is concerned, both of them have shown good growth.
So the growth within the segments, I mean within the areas for the segments, it is reasonable both for industrial, residential, it is same across. It's got it. Sure. And so the second thing was similar to the renewable bids, transmission bids are also, we see that the pace of transmission bid awarding is increasing. So how do we think of our participation there? Because I think earlier we were looking at getting some bids there.
So we are participating, but as we said, we always look at the desired returns. So based on the desired return, we generally participate in the transmission project.
I think Dhruv, we participate in all the biddings which happen for renewable or for transmission. I mean, sometimes we are not successful because we are not willing to go beyond certain point in terms of rates are concerned.
So, in your view, still the rates in transmission bidding is not as attractive. Probably for you, it's not as attractive yet, despite the increase in pace for now.
As of now, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Great, sir. Thank you so much, and all the best. Thanks.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and one to ask a question. Next question is from the line of Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. So just on the LNG and the merchant side, so in Q2 last year, we had a 1.155 crore of LNG gain. So as you said, the decline is 130 crore this time, so it is safe to assume 25 crore was the earnings from the LNG and merchant.
Yeah.
And sir, what could be the breakup between these two? Because last in Q1 it was like 10 crore from LNG gain and 130 crore from merchant. So in this 25 crore.
I think major part of it is merchant, very small part from LNG trading.
And what was the rate at which you have sold the merchant power?
Average rate would be around 10, I think 11 rupees, 10 to 11 rupees range.
10 to 11 rupees. So probably you are expecting this run rate to continue this quarter, like any additional earnings of 25-30 crores wanted to maintain the merchant?
I think it would be very speculative to answer that question whether that will sustain or not. But if you look at merchant prices right now, because winter setting in, expectation is it will slightly go down and then again pick up, let's say, somewhere at the end of Q4.
And on the parallel licensing, any updates? Like you were talking about the parallel licensing in Maharashtra and other states. So what is the status?
Parallel licensing, we have completed all compliances. Whatever compliances is required from the regulator, we have completed all compliances. We are now just waiting MERC to take this forward for their internal process.
So how long process will take more time from here, or what is your view?
It's difficult to say right now because MERC has to take it forward in their internal system and for the approval purpose.
Difficult to put a time to it, but it's moving on. Very difficult to put a timeline to it.
And sir, on the pump hydro storage, obviously last quarter also we highlighted something, and you also have stated in the opening remarks that is moving, allocate some land. So can you just throw some further light on what is the progress now in the pump hydro storage since the last quarter?
It's a long-term project. Maybe 5-6 years is required to materialize see the pump storage operating. First step is we have to get the MOF approval, which we have obtained. Now the second stage is prepare the DPR and then take it forward for the approvals.
So basically, sir, the initial preparatory work will take another 2 years before the actual construction or execution kicks in?
I think so. Yes, you are right.
And probably after that, the construction period will be what, for like 4 to 5 years?
3 to 4 years, I would say.
Okay, so in all, like 5 to 6 years for the for commissioning from now.
Yes.
Okay, so that's from my side. Wish you and the Torrent team happy Diwali, sir. Thanks a lot.
Same to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Amit from Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead.
Hello, good evening, sir. Sir, I wanted to get some sense around the performance in the license and franchise distribution. You have clubbed both the segments into T and D. So how should one look at it? What would be a good way to understand how franchise is performing?
So we have said in the beginning of the call, saying that both license and franchise distribution performance is better, and we have improved the performance by 66 crores on a combined basis. That is what we can all. That is what all we can say.
Right. Right. Okay. Fine. And on the PSP part, what kind of models are we looking at? Are we looking at a leasing kind of model, or would we go for regulated bids, or how would it be?
I think as of now it's too early to comment on that. We have kept our options open. Once we get nearer to getting those approvals, we'll really see whether we want to go into a leasing part or do a RTC project and sell the energy.
Correct. Got it. Thanks. That was helpful.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Next question is from the line of Varani Vijay Kumar from Spark Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Just wanted to understand from you, when you said that the returns are better in the hybrid projects, could you highlight the reasons according to you why this is the case?
So hybrid project is a high CUF project. In fact, you can able to deliver the higher PLF CUF, I would say. So which will ensure that the availability of power is higher, I would say. So because of the inherent advantage of high CUF project, returns would be higher.
Add cost, you mean?
No, so high CUF, I would say. High.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is that in this kind of projects, you'll have to really identify the sites which can provide you a higher PLF both on wind and solar, and then only you can give a high CUF solution to the purchaser, which means that you'll have to identify those sites and be ready when the tenders come, so that the competition itself would be lower. Because of which the returns could be higher compared to pure plain vanilla projects of wind or solar.
Okay. And does common transmission network and infrastructure which is required, which will probably come up at much lesser cost per megawatt, is that also a reason?
That would also be one factor, but I think major factor would be lesser competition in the bids
compared to all those cost saving, and evacuation facility will be better utilized in case of hybrid project.
Okay. Okay. And what I'm noticing is that in the recent SECI bids, there is this firm and dispatchable renewable energy kind of bids that are coming up, which mandates storage also to be part of the bids. So, are we bidding for those kind of bids?
So our interest is to go and try for the hybrid kind of projects.
Okay, only hybrid. Okay, okay. And the last question from my side is on the entire gas capacity in the country and especially for us. Now, recently government has been doing a lot of measures to improve power supply in the country, and some of the measures also include reviving the stranded assets, be it coal, maybe even on gas. So are you seeing any long-term action that government is planning to do to revive the entire gas space, which will also benefit us?
Our expectation is the power deficit scenario is going to continue for a couple of months going to come, I would say. So we expect that the gas-based power project is a better place to deliver in those periods, in those particular summer period or winter period.
So what you're telling is the temporary measures that the government has been doing, that will continue, no long-term measures which will resolve the stranded assets.
For some period of time we are seeing that situation.
Okay. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. As there are no further questions, I will now hand the conference over to Mr. Saurabh Mashruwala for closing comments.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for attending the Torrent Power funding call. We wish everybody to stay safe and healthy, and happy Diwali to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Torrent Power Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.